Improving the lighting downstairs, part 1. This is going to be kind of a long-term project, most likely, that will transpire over several weeks or months. And this is in conjunction with removing all this haphazard, cheesy wiring that was poorly installed. So, there's a couple issues with the lighting downstairs. For one, there's no lights in the stairwell, so the stairwell is dark. There's no switched lights over here, and there's no switched lights over here. So that means you have to walk to the studio in the dark, and if you come in this door, you have to walk in the dark over to the stairwell, where you can hopefully turn this switch on in the dark without getting zapped. So this is a three-way switch in conjunction with that other switch up there at the top of the stairwell. And I was originally going to just turn this around and install it so that it's on the other side of the wall here, which makes more sense. But then I realized that that's pointless, because I don't have any reason to turn the light off after coming down here at this particular location. The place where I would have a reason to turn the light off would be over here. And when I first moved in, I initially thought that I would try to turn this into a four-way and have a switch here, but for some reason this just made sense to me today. I think that it was originally the switch was over here. I think the switch was over here, and it was a three-way with this switch and the one at the top of the stairwell. And I believe what was done is this wire, which is a 12-3, is literally just moving this switch over to the bottom of the staircase. So we're going to open this up and take a look, and if my speculation is correct, we should be able to disconnect this wire and just replace it with the switch, and then have the three-way circuit operating the way I want it to. That's only the beginning of the project, because we need to figure out why this lighting circuitry down here is so complicated. So we now have 4 wires coming in and out of this box, which have no interface. And one of the wires appears to go to the other side. One of them goes here, and then actually I guess 2 of them go to the other side. So I think the start of the circuit is this wire right here, and it goes over to this light, and then it for some reason splits twice and goes here, and it goes over, I guess it goes to the other side, and then it comes back and it goes to this light, which then goes down there, and then it comes over here, and then it goes to the other side. It's just so confusing. I think at one point these might have all been on this three-way circuit. That's really the only thing that would make any sense. But I think that once I can figure it out, we're just going to delete it all, because it doesn't make any sense. So I have to sit here and really try to figure this out. But if I can move that switch, that at least kind of makes it better for the interim. On the other side of the room, I believe that this wire is the one that goes up to the switch in the wall at the top of the stairwell. So we need to keep that wire, which I think goes to that switch. And then I'm pretty sure on the other side, that wire is this one. and then we'll have to get on a stool and see which of these three is that wire. So that's the only one that we really need to keep. The rest of it should just get discarded and redone. And then somehow, which I haven't figured this out yet, somehow this is the switched box. So this wire, wherever it might go, it looks like it goes to the left. That actually might be it right there. Maybe this wire is that. Yeah, that would make sense. And then so that's the switched box, which that's not really where I want the switched light, or the multiple switched lights. But so that's interesting. Okay. Well, let's open up that box and see what we got in there. All right, let's see what resides in here. Oh, it's only held on by one screw. So this was probably put on by the hacker that did the rest of the work down here. Oh no, it is held on by two screws. That was incorrect. Okay, so yeah, I think that theory is correct. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it does. So we could probably put this, just move the switch over to here and restore, because that would make sense, because this is set up for a single gang switch, and this is clearly newer than everything else. Alright, so that's a good piece of information to have. So we could disconnect that and just connect the switch. Now we got to try to trace out some more of these wires. We're going to have to switch off this circuit for now, which is called basement lights, spelled wrong. And now let's go grab that switch. Drop light here. This was hooked wrong. Supposed to go the other way in the direction the screw tightens. This one's barely even hooked at all. This was just such poor quality work done. This one's backwards as well. And this is about to come off. Wow. So we've answered another question here from looking at this wiring. This wire is the 3. The rest are 2. So this wire must be the one that goes to the switch upstairs. Wow. Wow. Really do without the stupid cobwebs over here. I gotta clean this up. Okay, so this is going to the other side of the switch. So my next curiosity is where this wire runs, because this has got to be, well, not necessarily. This, I'm pretty sure that this one in the middle is going to be where the power comes in. This is our switch upstairs, and then this one must be the output by the stairwell. This is the way the wire is supposed to hook. Now I'm just putting it back exactly as it was before because I don't fully understand the circuit yet. And I just don't want to end up with something that doesn't work at all, because that's not going to be super helpful. And then lastly, no idea what that was. This goes to the other side. So this is now removed from the picture, with the exception of the ground, which I'm actually going to steal the ground and use it to connect to the switch. Okay, so this is now completely removed from the picture. Hopefully I can get my screwdriver in here to undo this. I really wish I had done this project before I put all this stuff down here. It would have been so much easier. Yeah, I know you can't see on the video. I can barely see it in person either. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay. So I'm going to slice this up here. And we should be able to pull this ground out. So we'll cop this ground and use it for the switch. Whoa. Okay, so that should be working properly now, or at least working the same way that it was. And I think that we've solved some of the mysteries. I suppose what I could do to test it is I could simply disconnect this. And I think if I disconnect this and it doesn't work, then that would tell us, wow. Okay. So if we disconnect that and nothing after that switch works, then I think we have solved the mystery of which one to feed it. So right now, the other light's not working. Okay. So turn that back off. And if we switch this and it still doesn't work, then we know that that center one is the input. It still doesn't work. So I'm pretty confident that the center wire here is going to be our input. And then this goes upstairs. So this is actually the high side. Well, see, there is no high side and low side in this particular case now. But this three-way wire here goes up to the switch, and then this is where it feeds from. So in theory, as long as we keep this wire going in, we should be able to cancel everything else and just keep this and reuse this one to somewhere else. That, I'm pretty sure, is what we've got going here. So I'm glad we figured that out. I'm going to put this back a little bit better than it was, or actually a lot better than it was, because that was abysmal. I better go ahead and check the other connection too while we're in here, because it's probably just as bad. It's just as bad. very sad that people do work like this. Very sad and very dangerous. And this is exactly why I've been going through every outlet, every switch in this house, because whoever was here between the time it was built and when all this other stuff was done was not a very good electrician at all. Alright, so we got that now. Before I patch it back up, I'm going to turn it on and check it. I don't have any reason to believe it wouldn't work, but you never know. The light's on right now. The light's off. So it's working properly. Alright, so let's see what we can do here about this. So we're going to remove this. You know, people are getting all over my case about using electric screwdrivers. Well, okay, I'll use a manual one. It's going to take 4 times as long, and I'm going to get complaints that the video is too long now. I'm so glad this was easy to revert back to the way it was. I had a strong suspicion that this was originally the way that it was supposed to be. It just makes a lot more sense. And I wonder if at some point all of the lights were on this as a 3-way. Because that would kind of make sense too. But I don't know. Maybe not. We may never know. All right. I was afraid there wouldn't be enough space in this box, but there's actually plenty of room. Pesky ground wire keeps getting in the way. Alright, that looks good there. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I had to put this on prior. Oh no, I recovered. Okay, we're good. Okay, and for this, I'm going to go get the forbidden electric screwdriver because we're going to be here all night otherwise. Oh, hold on. No, this is fine. Okay, this whole box is kind of wobbly, but there we go. So let's turn it on and make sure everything's working. On, off. That's working. Now let's go upstairs and make sure that the top of the stairs switch is still working. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but yep, it's working. Alright, so that's a big improvement. So now when I come in this door, I can turn on that light at least and see things. So that's good. So that's part one. Next part is going to be, we're going to install some more switched fixtures.